Sir. My concern is not whether God is on our side. My greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right. You can fool all the people, some of the time, and some of the people, all the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. The philosophy of the school room in one generation will be the philosophy of government in the next. You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. When I do good, I feel good. When I do bad, I feel bad. And that's my religion. Always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other. I will prepare, and someday my chance will come. I am a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they can be depended upon to meet any national crisis. The great point is to bring them the real facts. My great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure. Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves, and under the rule of a just God, cannot long retain it. Don't worry when you are not recognized, but strive to be worthy of recognition. The best way to get a bad law repealed is to enforce it strictly. I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives. I like to see a man live so that his place will be proud of him. I am not bound to win, but I am bound to be true. I am not bound to succeed, but I am bound to live by the light that I have. I must stand with anybody that stands right, and stand with him while he is right, and part with him when he goes wrong. As I would not be a slave, so I would not be a master. This expresses my idea of democracy. Important principles may, and must, be inflexible. I have always found that mercy bears richer fruits than strict justice. Labor is prior to, and independent of, capital. Capital is only the fruit of labor, and could never have existed if labor had not first existed. Labor is the superior of capital, and deserves much the higher consideration. Do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends? Every man is said to have his peculiar ambition. Whether it be true or not, I can say, for one, that I have no other so great as that of being truly esteemed of my fellow men, by rendering myself worthy of their esteem. How far I shall succeed in gratifying this ambition is yet to be developed. Discourage litigation. Persuade your neighbors to compromise whenever you can. As a peacemaker, the lawyer has superior opportunity of being a good man. There will still be business enough. Avoid popularity if you would have peace. He has a right to criticize who has a heart to help. You have to do your own growing no matter how tall your grandfather was. The probability that we may fail in the struggle ought not to deter us from the support of a cause we believe to be just. That some achieve great success is proof to all that others can achieve it as well. At what point then is the approach of danger to be expected? I answer, if it ever reach us, it must spring up amongst us. It cannot come from abroad. If destruction be our lot, we must ourselves be its author and finisher. As a nation of freemen, we must live through all time, or die by suicide. I remember my mother's prayers, and they have always followed me. They have clung to me all my life. A friend is one who has the same enemies as you have. I do not think much of a man who is not wiser today than he was yesterday. Public sentiment is everything. With public sentiment, nothing can fail. Without it, nothing can succeed. No matter how much cats fight, there always seem to be plenty of kittens. No man is good enough to govern another man without the other's consent. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Let's have faith that right makes might, and in that faith let us, to the end, dare to do our duty as we understand it. A woman is the only thing I am afraid of that I know will not hurt me. I want it said of me by those who knew me best, that I always plucked a thistle and planted a flower where I thought a flower would grow. If we could first know where we are, and whither we are tending, we could then better judge what to do, and how to do it. We should be too big to take offense and too noble to give it. Whenever I hear anyone arguing for slavery, I feel a strong impulse to see it tried on him personally. If there is anything that a man can do well, I say let him do it. Give him a chance. I know that the Lord is always on the side of the right, but it is my constant anxiety and prayer that I and this nation may be on the Lord's side. The highest art is always the most religious, and the greatest artist is always a devout person. Stand with anybody that stands right, stand with him while he is right and part with him when he goes wrong. Knavery and flattery are blood relations. In giving freedom to the slave, we assure freedom to the free, honorable alike in that we give and what we preserve. We shall nobly save, or meanly lose, the last best hope of earth. It has so happened in all ages of the world that some have labored, and others have, without labor, enjoyed a large proportion of their fruits. The time comes upon every public man when it is best for him to keep his lips closed. The people know their rights, and they are never slow to assert and maintain them when they are invaded. Never stir up litigation. A worse man can scarcely be found than one who does this.